What is the eternal essence that resides within you, beyond the body, beyond the mind, and beyond the fleeting moments of this life? What is the nature of the self that seems to persist through every breath, every experience, and every lifetime? What is this journey we call life, this mystery of birth and death, and where does it lead? Is death truly the end, or merely a doorway to something greater? And what if hidden within you lies a divine consciousness that transcends all boundaries of time and space? Dear seekers, we are all travelers in this cosmic journey, moving from one experience to another, from one life to the next, eternally transforming, evolving, and expanding our consciousness. The question of past lives, the question of death, and of your divine nature is not merely a philosophical inquiry, but a profound experience waiting to unfold within your being. It is the very key to understanding the eternal dance of existence. Let us begin with past lives. Many of you may wonder, what is the reality of reincarnation? How can I know that I have lived before? Understand this: you're not this body, you're not this mind, but something far greater. Your essence is eternal, your consciousness is timeless. The body comes and goes like changing garments, but your innermost self, that which you may call the soul, remains untainted, unaffected by the passage of time. The mind is like a river. It flows, it moves, it is never the same. In one lifetime, you may have been a king, in another, a beggar, and in yet another, perhaps a warrior or a simple farmer. These identities, dear seekers, are transient, like actors on a stage playing different roles. But who is the actor? The real you. Yes, the pure consciousness that is witnessing all these roles. It remains constant, unchanging, and eternal. The Buddha, in his journey towards enlightenment, discovered the truth of his own past lives. One night, while meditating deeply, he entered a state where his consciousness expanded beyond the limits of this single life. He saw not one, not two, but countless lives that he had lived before. He saw himself as a prince, he saw himself as a beggar, as a wise man, and even as an animal. All these lifetimes were like the pages of a book, each one different, each one contributing to the whole. In that moment, dear seekers, the Buddha realized that the chain of birth and death is unbroken, that life is a continuous journey through various forms, through various experiences. But he also realized something deeper, that all these lives were like dreams, like reflections in a mirror. The essence of who he was had never changed. This essence, this pure consciousness, was beyond birth and death. The realization of this truth set him free from the endless cycle of reincarnation. In meditation, in deep silence, when the clutter of the mind settles, glimpses of these past lives may arise. But know this: remembering past lives is not as important as realizing who you are right now. Past lives are part of the dream, part of the cosmic play, the Leela of existence. What is of utmost significance is the realization of your true nature, which transcends all past and future incarnations. Another beautiful story is about a great saint, Kabir. Kabir, in his poetry, speaks of past lives not in terms of nostalgia but as burdens one must dissolve. He says, "The burden of my past births weighs heavy on me like a mountain. But in the moment of awakening, when one realizes the self, this mountain dissolves into nothingness." Past lives are not for indulgence, dear seekers. They are there to remind you of the cycle you must break free from. Past lives are nothing but the footprints left on the sands of time. They are not the traveler. The traveler is your consciousness, always present, always aware, moving from one shore to the next. You are the eternal witness, moving through countless bodies and experiences, learning, evolving, and growing. And then there is the great mystery of death. So many fear death as if it is an end, as if it is a final annihilation. But, dear seekers, death is not the end. It is merely a transition. It is a door opening into another realm of existence. Just as you shed your clothes at night and go to sleep, so too do you shed your body when it has fulfilled its purpose. What dies is the body, the form. The ego dies, the sense of I that is attached to this particular body, to this particular mind, to these particular experiences. But you, the consciousness behind it all, cannot die. How can consciousness die? It is like asking whether light can die, whether the sun can die. They simply transform, shift, and move into new forms of existence. To explain this, let me take you back to the story of a Zen master, Hakuin. When he was on his deathbed, his disciples gathered around him and asked, "O master, where will you go when you die?" Hakuin laughed and said, "I will go nowhere. I'll remain here, just like a cloud remains in the sky, appearing and disappearing, but never really leaving." He then picked up his brush and wrote the word void and passed away. This story illustrates a profound truth, which is that death is not a departure. It is not a going anywhere. It is simply the dissolution of the form. But the essence remains. The cloud disappears, but the sky is always there. Hakuin, in his final moment, demonstrated that he had transcended the illusion of death. His consciousness was not bound by the body, it was vast like the sky itself. In truth, death is the greatest opportunity for awakening, for liberation. The moment of death is when the illusions of the mind begin to fall away. And in that silence, in that emptiness, the eternal nature of your being is revealed. That is why, in many spiritual traditions, death is celebrated. It is a returning, it is a merging back into the source from which you came. We have also the powerful story of Raman Maharshi, the great sage of Arunachal, who, as a young boy, experienced death while still alive. One day, without any illness or warning, Ramana suddenly became acutely aware of his mortality. He lay down as if to die, fully conscious and awake. He experienced his body as cold and lifeless. But what astonished him was that even though the body felt dead, his awareness remained vibrant, alive, and untouched. From that day forward, he knew without doubt that the body could die, but he could not. He had touched the immortal within himself. You need not wait for death to experience this truth. You can transcend death right now by realizing that you're not the body, not the mind, but pure consciousness. This realization, dear seekers, is the death of death itself. The fear of death vanishes when you know experientially that you are the eternal, undying, witnessing consciousness. Now, let us go deeper into this realization of your divine nature. You have heard the words many times. You are divine, you are consciousness, you are eternal. But they must not remain mere words. They must become your living experience. Only then will you truly be free. What is this divine nature, dear seekers? It is nothing but the awareness that is present within you at this very moment. The silent witnessing consciousness that is watching these words as they arise in your mind. This awareness is not limited, it is not personal, it is not bound by time or space. It is infinite, it is vast, it is the very essence of existence itself. When you go into meditation, when the mind becomes still, when all thoughts dissolve, you'll find that this awareness remains. It is not something you need to attain. It is already here. It has always been here. It is the essence of who you are. This is the divine nature. This is consciousness. And this consciousness is not separate from the universe. It is not separate from existence itself. You're not just a part of the universe. You are the universe expressing itself through this form. You are the sky, you are the stars, you are the trees and the rivers. You are the love that flows between beings. You are the silence of the mountains. You are the dance of the ocean. All that you see, all that you experience is a reflection of your own consciousness. This is why the great sages have said, Tat Tvamasi, that thou art. Everything is within you, and you are within everything. To awaken to this truth is to realize that there is no separation, there is no division between you and the rest of existence. The ego creates the illusion of separation, it creates the illusion of individuality, of I and other. But when the ego dissolves, even for a moment, the truth becomes clear, which is that you are the whole, you are the divine. This realization is the ultimate freedom. It is the freedom from fear, it is the freedom from suffering, and the freedom from the illusion of birth and death. When you know your divine nature, there is nothing to fear, nothing to lose. You become one with the eternal flow of existence, moving effortlessly from one moment to the next, from one life to the next, without attachment, without resistance. So, dear seekers, see life and death not as opposites, but as two sides of the same coin. Life flows into death, and death flows into life. The river of existence never stops. It is always moving, always transforming. And you, as consciousness, are both the river and the ocean. You are both the journey and the destination. The great Sufi saint Rumi said, Don't be sad when I die, because I am merely changing homes. This is the truth of your divine nature. Death is not the end, it is merely a shift in form, and life continues in new ways, new forms. You are the light, you are the flame that cannot be extinguished. Let this understanding sink deep into your being. Do not cling to the past. Do not cling to old identities, to old memories of who you think you are. Do not fear the future or the unknown that lies beyond death. Trust in the eternal nature of your consciousness and let go into the divine flow of existence. In this letting go, dear seekers, in this surrender, you will discover the ultimate truth. You will discover your divine, conscious, infinite nature.